It's off to Iowa Speedway this weekend for the inaugural NASCAR Cup Series race there, and here are three things to watch. After years of begging, pleading, asking, and demanding, NASCAR fans finally get to see Cup cars at Iowa Speedway. But through the years, there have been 20 Xfinity races and 13 truck races, and there have been some memorable moments there at the track. From Brad Keselowski winning the inaugural Xfinity Series race there to Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s win when his engine blew on the final lap and teammate Carl Edwards couldn't avoid him and punted him across the start finish line. But this is a different Iowa Speedway from that time. Portions of Iowa Speedway have been repaved in the corners. So now the preferred line is at the bottom with that extra grip and extra speed. You get outside that repaved section, you're not going to have as much grip or speed. Now, one thing that can do besides narrowing the track is it could create some bumping, beating, and banging on the short track potentially, and maybe even some bruised tempers as drivers try to stay in that repaved section and gain as much speed as possible. Now, something else to watch will be the tires. This is the same tire that was used at North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race on that repaved surface. That was the primary tire that was used there. Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and Brad Keselowski each took part in a confirmation tire test there last month. We'll see if it helps them. It's time to get going for drivers who won a race last year who have yet to win this season. Of the 15 drivers who won a race last season, 9 have yet to win this season, and it's quite an impressive list. At the top of the list is reigning Cup champion Ryan Blaney. Other former Cup champions who won last year who have yet to win this year include Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano. And others who won last year have also yet to win this year: Ross Chastain, Chris Buescher, Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Shane Van Gisbergen. Now, Busch and Logano both come into this weekend outside a playoff spot. Busch is 8 points below the cut line, and Logano is 16 points below the cut line. Now, for Busch, it's been a struggle lately with results. It looked like he was headed toward a top 5 finish last weekend at Sonoma, so contact with Ross Chastain on the last lap turned him, and he ended up finishing 12th, losing 7 spots and 7 key points for Kyle Busch. For Logano, he's had a long winless drought in points races, but he did win the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro on that repaved surface with this tire that will be used this weekend. Maybe that knowledge is enough to help Logano get back to victory lane, or maybe it's Kyle Busch or one of the others. The first to 4. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and William Byron have each won a series-high 3 Cup races this season. Who will be the first to 4? And could it happen this weekend? Denny Hamlin has been strong on the short tracks, winning at Bristol and Richmond this season. But Kyle Larson's also been really strong on the short tracks. He has an average finish of 3.3 on the short tracks at Bristol, Richmond, and Martinsville this season. And oh yeah, Larson comes into this weekend having won last weekend at Sonoma, so he's feeling good about things. But don't forget about William Byron. While he hasn't had the results as much lately, he did win at Martinsville earlier this year, and he also was one of the drivers, along with Logano and Ty Gibbs, who took part in a tire test at North Wilkesboro ahead of the All-Star race, so he has some additional experience with this tire on a repaved surface. But however it turns out, certainly keep an eye on the NASCAR action with NBC Sports and USA Network as the NASCAR Cup Series returns to NBC Sports and USA Network for the rest of the season. And you can catch all the action from Iowa Speedway this weekend, from Cup practice and Cup qualifying to Sunday night's Cup race on USA Network.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.